Hello, hello, everyone. Amy R here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to the face and the card making space. And some of this will be live. A lot of people will be catching this on rewatch because, as usual, this was unscripted, unplanned, unscheduled. That's how I roll. Yeah, we'll just see where it goes because I also thought that I would be clever and insane and stream to two places at once. Because why not? So I am currently streaming to my YouTube channel and my Facebook page at the same time. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Because, and again, anyone who's ever watched me knows that I can barely do a live stream without massive tech issues. So let's just do it. Everything. All the bells and whistles. So it seems to be working. Hi. You guys are getting notified. I'm loving it. This is, we'll see what happens. So yeah, hello, welcome to the chaos. And it's just me, for now, because again, unscheduled, just because this is casual. We're not like making cards or nothing, as the title says. I got my hands on OLO markers. Caveat, as always, do you need them? Not necessarily. If you've already got all the Copics, all the things, like, do you need them? No. Did I need them? No, I didn't. Did I want them? Yes. And I have been holding out for a very long time because they're not cheap. I would consider them a very good price, but I was able to get a very good deal on these just through connections, through my work. And when I was offered the deal, I was like, I can't say no because people have been asking me, and I'm just genuinely curious. I was like, I've wanted these for a while, so we'll just unbox this. And I did also print off. I'm trying to like keep track. I think everything is working. Hopefully. I hope not. We're just gonna look at this and I'm gonna start coloring it. I probably won't do the entire chart. That was the first thing I went and did. And I put a link to it. So wherever you're watching this, if it's on YouTube, the link should be below. If you're watching on Facebook, the link is somewhere. I don't know. I always forget where it shows up on Facebook when I'm streaming. But I highly recommend, and I put a link to it. Sandy Elnock does these hex charts, and they're only through Sandy Elnock. She invented this like many years ago. She did the first one, which I printed off a new one, paid for and downloaded. Yeah, it's been a decade because she did the Copic hex chart. I need to do a fresh one, so I like bought a new download. They're like $5.99, something like that, from her site. Print them on the big one to remember though. With something like this, you need to print them on the type of paper that you color on. You buy the download. My printer, thankfully, that's the only thing it can handle, is it can actually handle printing on cardstock. It can't print in color anymore. I print off the color version of it. This is supposed to be like brown and orange anyway. You need to be able to print it on the paper that you actually use color. So I printed this on Simon Says Stamp Smooth Weight, like 120-pound cardstock. Anyway, highly recommend Sandy's hex charts because yeah, I still can't imagine the amount of freaking work she did all those years ago. Like, this is the Copic one. Like, that's a lot. I refer to my old one I've had for many years, and funny enough, I actually never colored in, and I forget, maybe the person who did this for me will be able to remind me. One of my lovely subscribers many years ago colored one for me and sent it to me. I remember saying, I was like, oh, I need to do this. I just don't have time. And they did this, and I've kept it, and I refer to it all the time. So this is what I mean by like the hex charts. I refer to it all the time. Every time I use my Copic markers, like I pull this out and I'm just like, oh, that goes with that one, That's why I recommend them. Like, Sandy Elnock is, she's a professionally trained artist. Her coloring is amazing. So I've linked to her site. Look her up on YouTube, all the things. Buy her charts. They're wonderful. They're worth it. You get multiple downloads, and she updates them if she needs to. In the case of the OLOs, she will update if OLO releases more colors, which they have said they're going to. And because, yeah, as of right now, OLOs have 120 altogether, I think. Something like that. There's like 120, whereas like Copics, there's over 300. Again, do you need all of them? No, you don't. So, yeah. The hex charts, basically, Sandy's just gone and organized them in like similar colors. Because no matter what, the way they're numbered and the way, like, even with Copics, the way they're numbered and organized, sometimes some of those are just like, no, though, so you kind of have to ignore a lot of numbers. OLOs, I think, are a little more, they come, at least mine came, because, again, I got the whole set. It has like a color wheel and stuff, but yeah, Sandy takes those colors and she puts them into these charts, and they're just a great visual reference, and I like that a lot. I am very visual, so I highly, highly, highly recommend Sandy. And she has other ones too. She's got a couple other ones for different alcohol marker brands, and she also has color pencil charts, like hex charts. So for people that really like to use color pencils, she's got hex charts for those too. So highly recommend them. So yeah. Yes, and yes, you can. They do. The files you get do have charts that are pre-colored, but my printer sucks, because that's how my printer did the OLO one just 10 minutes ago when I printed it. So I was like, good to know that my printer is not color accurate at all. I'm so annoyed. Like, that's supposed to be like orange and red. Like, that's supposed to be green, not blue. But I was just testing it out, so I just printed on paper. However, the pre-colored charts that you do get, they're good for keeping track. Because if you don't have all the colors of things, then you can check off, like, X out which ones you've got. In my case, I have them all, so whatever. But yeah, that's supposed to be yellow. My printer's doing great. Real great. I love it. I love this for me. Anyway. I printed it off because I was like, oh, this will be a good reference. I was like, oh, I don't have a choice. I have to color. I need to anyways. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to flip the camera around, and I'm actually going to show you guys. Oh, there we go. So hello to all my people. There we go. Hello to everyone. Everything seems to be working. So we'll get back into this in a second, because that's what I'm going to do. So this is the big daddy set. So, oh, wonderful magic. The big thing with OLO markers, and this was what held me back, one of the reasons that held me back for the longest time, and I still am personally annoyed by this. I just am. It makes sense. I like to just be able to click add to cart and move on about my day. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it. And that frustrated me. However, I lucked out, got a steal. This is what they are. That, this whole thing. It's half a marker. The thing is with these, and again, it's all explained on the OLO website, so I really don't feel like kind of going into it. But these are free-flowing ink, so it's like basically like an ink cartridge. Again, it's on the OLO website, so you can just go to the OLO website and it's all explained. The difference between these, and whereas a Copic marker, the inside is like almost like a felt little cartridge that we use the re-inkers, everything else. With these, there are no like re-inkers. You would just get a new one. So if I used up this one, I would just order another one, and it would show up just like this, and it's inside there is a cartridge full of ink, and then the brush tip. And they do have chisel tips. So mine, of course, are all the brush tips, and I'm not sure yet. I've been sitting here before I went live, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do, because this set they have, that's what you get. These are connector rings, and the point of these is you can screw on a connector ring and either have the same color on a chisel tip. That's a whole separate set, which I was like, eh. Or I take a different shade, and that's where I'm thrown off because I was like, do I want two different colors in one marker? I don't know, because I don't know. I haven't made up my mind what I want to do yet. So I think when I start filling in my chart, I'm just going to use them like this because my hands are small enough that I can do this. It's a little weird, you know? But for anyone with average size hands and up, this is unbelievable, like hand cramp territory. So you do need, and you can also get like they're almost like brush tip handles. But again, that's a whole set. They're like $3 a piece. And I wasn't about to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars just on, I don't know. But for me personally, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I like them organized. So I don't know. I might have to just wait for another like offer through a brand so I can just get a whole other set. So I don't know what I'm going to do. So anyway, yeah. So there we go. What made you order them over Copic? I love my Copics. I love my Copic markers. I'm not planning on changing. Like Copics are great, but yeah, they do seem a little. There's just reasons, you know. I don't know. Me again. Did I need these? No, I just wanted them, and I was curious, and you know, I like colorful, things. You know, coloring options. So, and I've heard very good things about these markers. Really, I've heard so many good things. People, you know, are raving about them and loving them. So I was like, maybe I need these in my life. But again, if you're happy with what you've got, yeah. So I'm just gonna like color with them as is and start filling in my hex chart, and that's all this live is gonna be. Like I'm not actually making anything today because this was unscheduled, and yeah. I'm just going through making sure. Okay. Yeah, the comments seem to be coming through on both things, and we shall just see. So, Sandy Alanox hex charts, specifically the OLO one. I just purchased it, I downloaded it, and then I printed it onto, for me, I'm using Simon's smooth white cardstock. That is the other thing I have heard with these markers is those familiar with Copic markers and used to Copic markers, I should say. These take a little bit. They're just, people have said they've had more issues with the types of cardstock they use. I guess the Expressic cardstock is one of the most like highly recommended. I have some somewhere. I don't know where it is. But this is what I use always. So I was like, I'll start with this. You know, start with the paper I'm familiar with. And I do this with all my, like I did that with the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blends because that's what I use with my Copics. And it's like, okay, because if I start with the cardstock that I personally love and use, yeah. So you just fill it in. I'm literally explaining how to use the hex chart. So have some patience. Give me a second. I'm only one person. So the whole point of them, and if you go to Sandy's website, they're all explained. She has entire explanations because she's the one who made them. So I highly recommend it. It's linked below. It says right here, art classes, art-classes.com/charts. She explains them, but the whole point is to just give you visual cues of like what colors go well together, what colors will blend well together, so that you know, it's like, oh, if I want that shade of red or whatever it's going to be, and I want two other colors that are similar, they're going to work, together. So that's how that's going to work. I really like the flesh tone shades of the all. Yeah, the big thing too for me personally was like their purple shades. They have already, even though these are like newer, they have a nice range of purples, which Copic doesn't. They don't. Copic's purples are lacking and have been for many years. And I'm whatever. But yeah, and then they've got some, very nice, quite a variety of neutrals, aka can be used for skin tones. So that's really nice too. Because, yeah, we've got some, like, more muted, like, kind of grade ones. And then we've got, yeah, yeah. So we shall see. Um, we'll just see. But that's kind of all I've got for now as far as like info. But then anything else, like I said, if you want to know, like, what are these? How do they work? What is the point? Go right to like the actual like OLO website, because that's their job. You know, they need to explain why do we want these, and what's the difference. You know, and there's a ton of videos. That's also part. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. You know, there are so many videos out there because these have been on the market for however long. I don't even remember how long have OLOs existed. I don't know. Okay, I need to. I can't have this here. The lid is like obscuring my. The lid's obscuring my comments. There we go. So, and yes, do you need them? If you've already got Copics and you're happy, you're great. So I'm just gonna start pulling them out and trying to find, because this is also part of it. Since these are new to me, this will give me like a good visual. So I just have to start finding them in the box, which is going to be interesting. I'm looking for 07.8. Where did you go? Oh, oop, there it is. Okay, so yeah, we'll do this for a bit. I know I'm not going to do this entire chart because we'll be here all day. Who's got time for that? So let's just start. So obviously I'm not going to be like, I think with these ones with the really dark colors, I'm just going to leave that white so that I can actually see it. Because with the dark colors, it's hard to see. But I won't be able to be like, oh, these blend so amazing, because I'm not blending. I am just filling in. That's it. You know, simple. I see I'm doing the same price range as Copics. I think they're a little bit less. And again, they explain it on their 3.8. 2.5. Where did you go? 3.8. But it's also based on like the actual amount of ink you get and how much you use. So, yeah. So this is OR 3.8. So these first few swatches are going to be kind of boring because these are just browns. Just browns. But yeah, I guess the point with these, because it's a free-flowing ink chamber and not a like felt innards, is that you get way more ink out of it, you know, so it will last longer. That's, I guess, also the big draw with these. So yeah, yeah, my chart's gonna probably be kind of hideous, really. They are, but again, you can connect them. This is a half marker for those watching. Like I have the connector rings and I can connect them. I'm not doing it for now. I'm not doing it for now. We will see our, I'm like 5 points. Ooh, here's a pretty color. Until I figure out what I want to do, because I am kind of just, the thought of having two different colors on one marker kind of annoys me. Like you know, it probably wouldn't once I got really used to these, and just once you figure out like, oh, these two colors are together. Like I grab this one and I immediately know what's behind it, but it's like I'm not familiar with the coloring system, the numbers, anything. Like this is my first time using it. I will say on Simon Smooth White cardstock, which I didn't link, but that's all. This is what I'm using. I do like it. I think this will be my cardstock to use for these. Okay. Um, R1.7. I'm trying to. Here we go. But yeah, you can the sets come either already connected or you get the connector rings and you make them into full size markers. That is the thing with these, and I know it's weird, and that's what held me off. I'm still a little bit like, but it does give you options. My only thing I really wish, and I've been waiting, is because there's only two tip options available for these: the brush tip that I'm using, or a chisel tip. And I don't work with chisel tips. I don't like them. Um, I was so hoping that they would release a set with the like a fine, really a fine point nib like Copics, because that's what I would get. I should actually contact OLO and be like, is that ever like part of the plan? Because then I would eventually save up and get a set in the same colors with the fine point and then connect those. Because to me, that would be perfect because I'd have a brush tip and a fine point for little images, That's what I want. That's what I want. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll see. 0.6. This one. So they are not they're not refillable because you don't need to refill them. You would just get one of these. You would just replace that because the ink chamber is part of the little marker, so you don't need to refill them. You would just replace this one doohickey. The tips are replaceable if you do manage to wreck them. That though is like you have to be a pretty heavy-handed and using them for a pretty long time because from what I understand and just this immediate first impression of the 5 minutes I've been coloring, these are good tips. I'm happy so far. So far. So yeah, a fine tip. OLO, please. Hear my pleas. I would like KOR 4. What color is this? 4.8. There we go. I would like a set with fine tips. That would be perfection. I was looking on their website just yesterday, and I was thinking about how it would be really nice because I was looking to see if they even just had a fine tip option, like just the tips, because then you can pull out these and replace them like just like Copics. And I was like, ooh, if they have fine tips, maybe I'd find a way. But they don't. So maybe because they're a newer company. So yeah. Now I'm just annoyed. I'm gonna color these all in. I don't care. I like that better. It looks nicer. We're gonna go back and do the rest because I'm OCD. 7.8. See? Yeah. 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 I like that better. Don't get me going on my OCD. And besides, I can see all these. It'll only be like maybe the super dark colors that it'll be a little bit of an issue, but again, I don't really care. 5.7. Where was that? There we are. We're good. I like my Spectrum Noir. I do. They're nice. The color range on Spectrum Noir tri-blends, I've done many, many videos on them or using them. Is odd. 100%. The color range is odd, and even within the markers themselves, I get annoyed sometimes, but they're great and they're cheap compared to a lot of other options on the market. 0.6. Okay. Yeah, I like that better. That just makes me feel better. So now we want 1.8 there. So the OCD one, I know, I do. It was bugging me. Yeah, so we're just gonna go right over it. That's just what we're gonna do. But yes, for me and my little hand, like again, I have small hands. Like this is ridiculous. It is. But one, I'm doing it just for this. I may though for a while just keep them like this, as weird as this is, but I don't know. That I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. And I'm not willing to invest in just the plastic, like I said earlier, the plastic, it's like a brush and that you just connect so that you can hold it like a brush. But those are, yeah, so it's like $3. Like it'd be hundreds of dollars to get enough for all of them. And I'm like, no, thank you. If I'm going to do that, I might as well just get another set of markers. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. That's weird, man. It's weird. Yes, I can, like, if any of them end up being so dark that I can't read like, you can't really see it on screen. I can see it. Like, in real life, this is very legible. It's fine. But with any of them, and same with the Copic ones, if they're too dark, yeah, go over it with, like, a little white gel pen. Doop, doop. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll be good. I'm just wanting to kind of get a feel for these colors. That's why I'm doing this OR. I'm getting there. I'm starting to um slowly get a feel for these colors. And yeah, they do dry back a little bit. All alcohol markers do though, so yeah. Also, my swatches are not going to be smooth because I don't care with that. That doesn't irritate my OCD. I just need the color down. It doesn't need to be like a smooth blend because this isn't a project. You know, this isn't like a coloring of florals or something. This is just so I have a visual, I can move on. So I don't mind streakiness. I don't care. I don't care. I don't have time for that. So, but again, personal preference there. 2.6. I want, there it is. 2.6. Um, but yeah, they're interesting things. I can say at the moment so far no regrets. But again, I've had them in my possession for like a couple days now, something. It hasn't been very long. And yeah, I need to actually do some coloring more than just the chart. But let's go O 2.7. So we shall. I'll make sure I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay. I'm doing okay. This is working. It's working. But yeah, doing like a serious amount of coloring, using them like as like this as a half marker would get very annoying. Yeah. Yeah. 3.7. Uh, oh, there we go. Okay. Interesting. They've got interesting colors. Once I redo my Copic chart, which I don't know when I'm gonna get, because again, the Copic one is, good lord, it's gonna take me forever to refill. It'll be interesting to kind of compare. But I know Sandy did some comparisons. Again, Sandy Elnock, fabulous. She even did a video, and I remember watching it. She compared Copics, sketch markers, and Olos, and even did some coloring of an image that she like split into three to and used like similar colors. Check it out. You want info? She's got info. Okay. OR 4.4. Yes. Yes. It's totally worth it. Yeah. Highly recommend. That was the first thing I checked out because Sandy's hex charts are a game changer. And yeah, I'm trying to avoid, but obviously, because my printer is not alcohol marker ink friendly, so it is going to smear in places. I don't really care again, but just saying. Yes, yes, isn't it though? It's such a huge change. Okay, oh, 7.7. And yes, again, welcome to my unscheduled live because I am planning on going live tomorrow. On Sundays, we go live. So, Sundays at 2 p.m. Central on my YouTube channel. Um, Still planning on doing that. But I thought rather than just sit here by myself, that I would just do this live. Because why not? Why not? Why not? You know? 7.3. There we go. Um, yeah, I have not had many issues with Copic markers, like the drying out and stuff. Like, I've had a few, but my thing, of course, is I've had my Copic markers for many, many, many years. Like, some of mine are 10 plus years old. if not more, and I jump around a lot. Obviously, I do watercoloring. I do this. I don't use them consistently. And I've had some dry, but I don't know if that's related to. I've heard that there have been more and more issues more recently with them. 7.6. Where did you go? So yeah, I'm hearing the chatter and seeing the things people have been saying, and I'm not sure what what's going on with that, because Copics were always like top of the line, best quality, best, everything. And that's why they were so popular, because they were the best of the best. You knew what you were getting if you were going to pay that kind of money. And I've been hearing things changing, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah, I find it really frustrating, because it's like that's the thing. If you're going to invest in something, and Copics are an investment. I invested in my Copics, you know. Um and I'm sure I would be. I know I would be. I'd be really upset if I was having like major issues with them. But I can't say for my own personal few that I've had a few that I've gone to use more recently and they've been dried out, but I can't say if it's related to quality issues or if it's just that marker has sat for the last 6 years and I haven't touched it. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. So yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. It's okay. So I'm just trying to make sure while I'm chatting that I'm actually putting the right color in the right spot. And no, I will not say with the Olos, if go out and buy them. I'm not going to say that. This is my very first impression of them, my very first use of them. So I'm not going to be like, do it. No, like that was also why I decided to film this. Like this is again unscripted, live, unscheduled, and we'll just see what happens. These colors kind of jump around. It's interesting. Interesting. Um, so yeah, I will do. Obviously, I'll use them um, in videos. That's also why I chose to do the live um, in both locations on Facebook and YouTube, because it's just like everything. If you guys see me start to use these in videos, and then people are gonna want to know, and I'll be like, check out this, me just yapping and unboxing and stuff, because it's like, there you go. That's all my thoughts on all the things. Okay, 2.2. I'm like trying to find. There we go. Nope, nope. That's not the right one. That's the one I want. Okay. Um, if your Copics are older, that's why. Yes, like I have the OG Copics before all of the. Um, there was a bunch of upheaval and stuff in that company. If I remember hearing about it, it was years ago. I don't even remember how many years it's been. I remember hearing about it though, and that's actually what led to this, from what I understand, allegedly. My personal opinion. Things I was hearing in the rumor mills is a lot of that upheaval and things that changed resulted in this brand being created, from what I understand. Um, so yeah, but I don't know for 100% certain what all went down. Okay, OR. I'm getting there. Starting to figure out who what now is going on. So obviously I'm very much in sort of the neutrals kind of territory here with these. And you can definitely see the streaking with the lighter shades. Because again, my printer ink is definitely not alcohol marker ink friendly, which I don't care with that kind of stuff because I don't work in 2.0 digital. There we go. Digital, printing off digital images, that sort of thing to color. I don't do that kind of stuff. People ask me about that every once in a while. Um, that's not my forte. I don't like. I spend enough time in front of a computer and a camera and dealing with tech. When it comes to like creating, that is the last thing I want to do. I've tried it. I tried it years ago. You know, digital stamps and that sort of thing. No, that's not my. I get no joy out of that, so I don't do it at all. I know some people love it and they're great at it. It's not for me. I don't want to sit in at a computer fiddling around trying to get things to print and then yelling and screaming at my printer because yeah, my printer is frustrating. So anyway, I didn't bother when I got my printer, didn't bother looking into like finding one that is because there are different printers that are more or printer inks that are like alcohol marker friendly, blah blah blah. That's a whole other thing, and I'm not the one to ask about that because I don't do it. 3.2. Okay. Okay. Um I missed yeah, I don't believe a word, and I'll say this with my full chest. That video Jazza did, it was sponsored. And he admitted it. He said it in the video clearly, but I will not trust a review of someone that's like, "Oh, this brand is better than this brand when this brand is paying you." Cuz would the video have gone up? I watched it and I stopped and thought for a long time and I was like, that is it's a biased review, 100%. And as a large creator, I found that very not cool to do something like that. And I now will never believe what he says about any products and the quality or, because it's like if your opinion can be purchased, um, yeah, I don't agree with that. And as far as Ohuhu markers, again, Sandy Elnock did a video specifically about them, and I highly recommend people watch it because what she said, it's a little enlightening. Because Sandy pulls no punches; she says it like it is, and I kind of agree with her. So, okay, RV. We're getting to the RVs now. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, oh yeah, and he says it in the video. Like it was sponsored by them, and it just I was like, why did you do? Why? Like I know they probably paid a large amount of money. They actually reached out to me and offered me, and it was a good chunk of change, and I turned it down. Um, and I am a much smaller creator, so I can only imagine how much larger creators get paid. But I don't do paid reviews like that. I will not give positive reviews in exchange for money because that is, to me, that is completely unethical. And I wouldn't be able to live with myself because it's like, if you can purchase my good opinion, what does my good opinion mean then? You know? Because I've been offered over the years different companies coming out of the woodworks. Thankfully, none of them really. I've never had a card making company. I don't think I've ever had a card making company. It's usually like art supply type companies trying to purchase reviews. Like, oh, if you give us a good review, we'll give you X amount of dollars. And I'm like, yeah, nope. Nope. Won't do it. So, yeah. Um, exactly. That is 100 right there. And that's just it. My opinion, my personal opinion, my integrity means more to me than a paycheck. And again, I have been offered pretty decent amounts of money to sell that opinion, and I won't do it. And I'm doing this as a job, and I'm paying the bills, and I have many kids to feed, but I still won't do it. And sometimes it sucks. But yeah, I just that video made me really angry because I was like the minute it was sponsored and knew it was sponsored, I was like biased, 100% biased. I can't believe anything that's being said now. So that was really disappointing. 2.2. Okay. It's possible that he agreed with the caveat that he might not love them, or he tried them first, loved them, and then agreed to do the video. Even then, though. Like, it's one thing to for products to be sent, like these weren't sent to me, but like, they're sent with no expectations. Um, in his case, in that specific video, he was paid. It was more than just if it was say why I don't judge someone. It's like, oh, I was sent this product for free. Here's my opinions on said product. That's fine. Because brands send me stuff too, and it's like sometimes I'm like, not my favorite, whatever. But they're not paying me on top of that. And I won't, even if I love it. Like I did the glue press review the other day. I would never think in a million years to like contact Misty and be like, hey, I'm going to post. I love the product. You want to pay me? You know? So yeah, it's nuts. Um, it just gets weird. I don't mind sponsorships in general. If a brand wants to sponsor things, that's fine. But when you're literally comparing to another brand and then shitting on the other brand, right there, the line's been crossed, in my opinion. If it was just a standalone, like, look at these, here's my opinion, here's what I did with them, and leave it at that, like an actual just like review. But when you do a comparison, that's where I don't like his video. It really made me not it. I just lost respect. I lost respect. Oh no, what am I doing? So yeah, it was very weird, But again, that's my opinion, and we're entitled to them. Um, and that's also why I won't compare um really anything in a sense. Like that's why I always say, if you're not interested in alcohol markers, that's great. If you've already got Copics, do you need these? No. If you've got tri blends and you are happy with them, do you need Copics or these or sketch markers, or there's many alcohol markers now. Do you need them? No. I'm not going to tell anyone what to buy. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, these are so much better than those. Like, the beauty of it is personal preference. And I don't like people muddying it with sponsorships. But anyway, that's my, thoughts on that. I don't know. I'm probably getting myself into a lot of trouble with my big mouth as usual. And my very opinionated self. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. Like, again, thankfully the thing with art supplies is uh yes, um yeah, yeah, I didn't go down the Ohuhu route because who knows if they're going to be around in 5 or 10 years. My big thing though, and again, I highly recommend people check out Sandy Elnock's YouTube channel. She did a video on them, and just she said some things, and I really um I it was enlightening. It was things I already kind of knew, but I'll let her say it because she explains it better than anyone else. And again, she packs no punches with the stuff she says. I like Sandy Alnock she is a good egg. Ooh, we're getting into some pretty purple colors. So yeah, it is just it's a weird thing. But when it comes to reviews of products, um, yeah, honesty and integrity. And the sad thing is for a lot of people, they can just get away with doing whatever. And I'm not even referring to anyone in any specific anything at this point. I'm not referring to anyone. It's just it sucks because to me, I'm like, if you're a content creator and you're putting out things online, like honesty means something. Honesty and integrity, and the minute you tarnish that, how do you go back from it? Really, you know. Um, I'm just trying to find. There we go. So, huh? Oh, 100%. Yeah. If you're already consistently using the product, take a sponsorship. And again, sponsorships are fine. If a brand showed up that wanted to sponsor a video, You know, because usually if it's a sponsorship, it's just money, just to sponsor the video. It has nothing to do with whatever, you know? Like, I've been offered, like, HelloFresh sponsorships, it's been many years, and I turned them down because it just when it originally was offered, that was before people were doing them the way they do them now, and I was like, "This is weird." And now I regret it because I was like, "Man, I would love to get, 1, money, and 2, if I could have HelloFresh, like, sent to me for free in today's day and age and the market, all my videos would be like, "This one's sponsored by HelloFresh." I would do it. We gotta pay bills, man, you know? But I would never do a sponsorship, and I know Dawn wouldn't either because Dawn's got serious integrity as well, where it's like, "Oh, we wanna pay you to promote only our products and to say XYZ brand is crap," you know? But yeah, Princeton brushes, they good, and Dawn, it's all your fault. I've purchased many of them. I have piles of random little things sitting around here, including a paper crimper that wasn't sponsored, but Dawn used it, and I was like, "I need that again in my life." Have I used it? No. It's just sitting here gathering. I know. HelloFresh, if you're hearing me, I'll take the sponsorship now. I'll do it. I will. I really will. It'll be like, "This card is sponsored by HelloFresh," and then I'll do a little HelloFresh commercial because I've seen them do it. We cook some meals, and you guys have to see me eating and being like, you know, I'll do it. All right. I'm not above that. Again, I got bills to pay. AdSense doesn't do much, and everything's crazy. So you guys are getting a heads up warning if I start doing random commercials. Like there was like those wine of the month clubs or whatever where they send you. I'll do those too. This card is brought to you by this bottle of wine. You know, I'll do it. I'll do it. All right. I have integrity and morals, but yeah, I'll do ads for decent company, not just anybody. I still got, you know, they would have to be decent companies. I know HelloFresh is a good one, so that's why I mentioned them. But I've been offered many random sponsorship opportunities, and a lot of it is just the type of stuff, or the brand is sketchy, or it's like I will not promote this sort of a thing. What, you know, for there's certain products or certain things that I there's one that emails me and has offered me to the point where they're like, "Name your rate," and I will never promote that website, that company, anything ever, 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 ever. So yeah, anyway, that's my me and Dawn and me both. Me and Dawn will get us on that wine of the month club, man. I don't even drink wine very often, honestly, but hey, if they're gonna sponsor me, send me fancy bottles of wine, I will make a card inspired by it, whatever. uh yep, this video is not, but yeah, if they somehow manage to get across, those are a couple of the ones. Yeah, there's a few companies now that are decent enough, and I know that they pay decent or whatever. So HelloFresh is just on the top of my mind because Chris and I talk about it a lot, and I'm just like, man, they haven't reached out and asked me for a sponsorship in many years, and now I would say yes now. Oh goodness. Okay, I need 0.2. There we go. Okay. Just HelloFresh have poutine. Thankfully, I don't need them for that. I would be very suspicious if they did. Because yeah, I've said that in the lives. I'm very picky about my poutine. Um, I challenge any direct to consumer brand like that. Good luck. Good luck impressing me with that. Oi. Um. Oh yeah, like Kathy Zielski has some fun wine themed wafer dries. I used the champagne one during New Year's, one of my lives. Yeah. So, and she's got a couple of good like sets. There's some wafer dyes, there's shaker ones. Picket Fence Studios did they do a wine glass though? I can't remember. They did because I did a video last year using they had like different like martini glasses and you know things like that, and I did a couple of fun shaker videos. Those are on my channel. So yeah, I could twine in a wine sponsorship very easily, but it doesn't even have to be. It's like this video is sponsored by, and then you do your little commercial bit for them, and then you go right back into what you're doing. It doesn't even have to be themed, you know, in my opinion. Anyway, but I could have fun with it, that's for sure. Like, oh, I did wrong colors. Crap. I already messed up because I was talking. Good job, Amy. Well, I'm just going to go over it. We'll see what happens. I used R. Did I use R01? Yeah. Oops. You guys got me all excited talking about poutine and wine. This isn't going to be as accurate because now it's two colors layered on top of each other. But I'm not printing this and I'm not restarting. Whatever. Anyway. Whatever. It's fine. We're fine. RVO2. Okay. Pay attention, Amy. Whatever. I was thinking about, yeah, wine and poutine. Oh my goodness. Yeah. There we go. Whatever. RO2. I think I did all the other ones properly. I think I'm good. We're good. I think it's just the one that I messed up. You could cut a little hexagon and glue it. Oh yeah, if it really bothered me, if it was a dark color, I would have to, you know, but this is light enough that I'm not worried about it. It's fine. It's fine. But if it was a dark color at this point, yes, I would just reprint this out, cut out what I need, and fix it. It would be fine. But again, I'm not super concerned with this being perfect in any way. This is just to give me that visual, because I'm not, especially since these colors and numbers and all these things are I'm not used to. And yeah, I'm fine with it. We're good. I may do it later if it starts causing issues. You know, I'm like, ooh, that's not the color I thought it was, but they're so close. Meh. Okay, OR 2.5. This is a very orangey red, which obviously OR orange red. Duh, Amy. But anyway, those are my thoughts on sponsorships and paid reviews and honesty and integrity. Question: what's a stamp set theme you do not have in your collection but would really love to have? Oh, I have no idea. R03. Yeah. I have a lot, and I've been doing this for a lot of years, so I couldn't honestly tell you, really, what I feel is like lacking or anything like that, because it depends. Yeah, it depends on my mood, you know. But I have a lot of things. I do though I have an order on its way to me with some products that I ordered that I don't have anything like it. And yeah, you guys will just have to stay tuned because once it gets here, I plan on doing a video or two using them and making some cards. And we'll see. We'll see. It was just stuff that I was just like, that's different. Okay. OR. Where am I going? 2.3? There we go. Okay. I'm finding things. It seems like lots of folks are getting new markers lately. Yes. Several of my coworkers, I think have been posting, aka other content creators, because I think a lot of them also were able to get a deal on these markers because, yeah. So I think people are going to see a lot of OLO marker content coming, which is, in my opinion, that's great. It gives people more variety, more voices, more ideas, you know, and then people can make hopefully more informed decisions whether or not this is something that interests you or you're like, nah, I'll pass. I'm happy with what I've got. That's what I like, you know, because I know I am not the be all and end all. And besides, 99% of the time, my reviews or my opinions are very disjointed. Because, you know, I'm just like, that. These are pretty colors. They're awesome. Pretty colors. You know, so technical. You know, you guys are learning so much from me. I will say now that I've done however many so far, I'm liking the feel of the brush nibs on these. They are similar to Copic. I'm not gonna, you know, they're different markers, different brands, different things, but I do like the feel of it. Um, and I'll also say so far again though, I'm doing very basic, like just I'm not blending or anything. I was always concerned with these that they might be too 2.5. And again, this is just very first impressions because I've heard like that these are very like in a sense juicy again because they're free flowing. Like it's just an ink cartridge inside. There's no felt thingy. And I've heard people having trouble with them really like bleeding outside lines, things like that. So far I'm not really having that problem. Anything is more my fault going outside the lines. But like this is a first step baby impressions. I have no it's going to take me some time to really be like this is exactly what I think of these markers. Right now, I'm just like, so far they're pretty. I like how they feel, and that's all. That's all I have. You know, you guys aren't getting any in-depth review because there is nothing to review at the moment until I actually get to sit down and like stamp some images, color them. You know, really, really do some playing, and that's what I prefer to do anyway. I never did an official review of like the Spectrum Noir Charblends. I'm like, they're great, they're fine. I'm happy with them. You know, I don't regret buying them. Um, YO. No, did I use the wrong color again? No. Yes? No. Yes? Ugh! I shouldn't be doing these when I am. Yeah. I'm gonna mark these. Okay. Give me a sec. Where's my pen? So I know which ones I actually need to. And then that was one. So then I'll know which ones I need to redo. Okay. Whatever. YO. This is why. Okay. Where are those colors? I'm confused. Those are there we go. This is where I'm lost. Okay. Um Sort of. They're sort of are the colors match? Honestly, no matter what, caps are in a like they're irrelevant for many reasons. It does not matter what brand it is in any way, shape, or form. It literally does not matter. This being plastic will never ever be the same. Are they similar? Yes, I would say they're fairly similar. However, this is plastic. This is ink on paper. No matter how close you're going to get it, it's never going to be exact. It's just the differences of material. Um, but yeah, they are so far similar, fairly similar, you know, but it'll never be the same. Um, so yeah, that's why I recommend doing something like hex charts. It's another reason why I recommend swatching products because the label on your ink pad is not going to be the same as the ink itself on cardstock. You know, it's yeah, it's just the nature of the things because you're working with different mediums, whether it's a printed label on an ink pad, so that's printed by whatever put onto the ink pad versus actual liquid ink. on your cardstock because, you know, and ink can look different on different cardstocks. Markers look different on different cardstocks. Like, there's differences for everybody. That's also why brands don't sell Y0 swatches, because I've seen a lot of requests for that. People wanting the brands to sell swatches, and it's like, dude, one, you'd be way over, like, because you're gonna have to pay for someone to sit and do them, you know, and it's all gonna depend on the cardstock you use, and yeah, that's why you just do it yourself. You know, it sucks sometimes. It can be annoying, but that's why I'm sitting here talking to you guys, even though I'm messing up doing it. I'm distracting myself. Usually, though, these are the types of things you do. You put on a movie or something, you know, put on your Netflix or whatever, podcast, audiobook, that sort of thing, and you just kind of zone and you do it. It's enjoyable. I was going to do that, but then I was like, I'd rather yap at you guys. Why not? YO 2.3. How do you plan on storing them? As of right now, I'm just going to keep them in the box they came in. Because that's part of it. I don't know. I have no idea how I'm going to store them. Because like this, if I keep them in the box for now, I will be keeping them just in the box they came in. Because then I can just see them all at a glance, you know. And that's why I don't really want to connect them end to end. Because then I'll have two different colors. And I don't like that. I don't like that. It bugs me because then it's like I'm only gonna see one, and then I'm gonna forget. I don't know. Some people don't have they have no problem with it, and they say they get used to it pretty quickly having like two different shades. I don't know. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed if I'm being completely honest. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. Um, I would swatch for a company if they paid me. Yeah, it would be. It would be interesting, but that I'll never say never because one, I don't speak for any brand, but if a brand were to do it, yeah, they would sell a ton of swatches. However, I can just feel the like issues from customer service because people will be like, "This my ink pad doesn't look like this on this cardstock, and it's completely different cardstock," you know, and it's like because the swatch you bought was done on XYZ cardstock, and you're using something completely different. That's why you do your own swatches. Anyway, um, why 1.2? Okay. So that's my thoughts on swatches. Um, so it's just is what it is. And then with markers, personal preference. Always personal preference. 1.1. So yellows are always going to be a little more finicky. So I will try not to scrub it over the printed lines. And Y 2.0. Yeah, I'm not sure about this numbering system. I don't know what their point is. But then again, I'm not 100% sure with Copic's numbering system. And I've been using Copic for almost 20 years. I always wonder. I was like, and I've said this in my videos to my Patreons because they get to see real-time coloring and my rambling, muttering, and everything else. But of all the color, because I've Copics, I now have Olos, and then I have Spectrum Noir's tri-blend markers. Tri-blends, their coloring system drives me insane. I was like, I don't understand what you guys were trying to achieve here. But I still like them. 2.1. YG. We're at YG now. 2.1. If connected, then one would be nib side down. It might leak. It shouldn't. I don't. It shouldn't. Um, I'm pretty sure. I can't say it with 100% certainty because I'm live right now, so I can't like click and check. But I'm pretty sure that even though these again are an ink chamber and not felt, I'm still pretty sure that these can be stored any which way. Because like Copics can be stored horizontally or vertically, and I assume that these can be as well. But again, I'm not 100% on that. So don't quote me on that. But yeah, I would assume they should be fine and they should not hopefully, because like these are air sealed. Um, and generally that means like doesn't matter what, you know, it shouldn't do anything, you know. So I would hope so anyway. That should not even be a concern. These yellows are pretty. I do like these yellows. Okay. YG 2.3. Um, okay. I'm not gonna stay live for a whole lot longer. One, because I think it's been just over an hour, and also because like I have other things to do. I wasn't sure if I would. I'm getting like splotches. I've smeared my printer ink. Whatever. That's fine. I'm fine with this. It's fine. um, but I'm not gonna stay live for the whole thing because I also have other work I need to get done. Because you know the joys of being self-employed. But do appreciate you guys hanging out with me while I sit and color. You know. Y 8.7. Ooh, that's an interesting color. Interesting. Oh yeah, it's like a deep, like a muted green. What? Or muted yellow, I guess, in a sense. Interesting. So then that would put us at YG. Ooh, this one's pretty. I'm just kidding. I was like, I'm gonna stop this, and now I'm like, ooh, look, pretty colors. I'm like the dog from Up. It's like, Squirtle. Okay. Yeah, that works. They are. They're pretty. They're pretty. Y 8.6. This one. Okay. Okay. And then YG 8.5. And obviously 8.3 is later. Okay, so that little triple combo is, I see it. It is a good blend. And then that YG 2.1, 2 or 3, that's another good little blend. I'm like starting to see what Sandy's going after here. Yeah. RVO2. Okay. I'm starting to see it. It's interesting. It's interesting. So those are grays. We're going to ignore those for a moment. Let's do some purples. I'll go for a little bit longer. Why not? Why not? Yes, I did get the whole set. V 4.1. That's where we want to go. To 4.1. Okay. I'm very curious about the purples because that is one thing that Copic doesn't have a decent enough range of. But purples are just, regardless of the brand or anything in any capacity, purples are just notorious. They're difficult. V 1.1. They're just a difficult color to work with and create shades of and everything. And it's always been like that, and it's annoying. I like purples, obviously. The 4.3. So I will give OLO the props for having a pretty decent purple range kind of right out the gate in a sense, you know? But yeah, 2.3. Hello, hello. 2.3. Hit the purples, I know, right? Purples. Purples are pretty. 0.3. This is like a pinky purple. Just. And that'll probably dry back a little bit. And then 0.4, which is, again, a very more intense pinky purple. And then 2.4. Ooh, this one is pretty. Yeah, 7.6. Well, yeah, these are kind of dusty purple shades. I like it. Yeah. 4.1, the 4.3, and the 7.6 make a nice little trio. I like it. I like it. So yeah, 1.6. Okay. This is more, again, kind of pinky purple. This is close to like seedless preserves. Close. Seedless preserves is more intense than that. And then 2.6. This is more like a grape purple. Yeah, their colors. 2.8, so this will be a dark one. Interesting. It's just interesting. Ooh, this is a dark one. I like it. Add in. There we go. Okay. I did not get them in Canada. 2.7. There's the last one. Okay. Okay. Oof. That's another very dark purple. Covered up some of the blotches I got already, so that's good. Good enough. I am curious about the 0. I wonder if how it works to push the color back from the where I went over the lines. I'm very yep. Yes. I like that. That is and that would be it is actually mostly like that's the one thing that annoys me with Copic. They call it the colorless blender, and it's not. It's not a blender. Like I use it as an eraser for the sense. You're just pushing the color like deeper into the cardstock, etc. But I like this one, the 0. It does a decent job of pushing the color in. Because I need to do that a lot because I color outside the lines all the time and make a mess. Here's a dark one. You guys probably won't really be able to see it very much because I didn't make that big of a mess, but I can see it. Oh, here's like a splotch. Let's see how it does with that. Not bad. It's not bad. Again, this is like super thick cardstock. This is Simon Says Stamps, 120 pound smooth white. So yeah. All that was answered, or the chart is through Sandy Elnock. It's linked wherever you're watching this. You're watching this on YouTube. It's linked in the description. Um, the chart's from Sandy Elnock. That is a separate purchase because she's the one who invented this chart. So you purchase it from her. Highly recommend it. The markers are more free flowing. I can't comment though on how different. So far, just doing this, I've noticed a difference, but it's not what I thought it was going to be. I assumed it was going to be more. Like I kind of had the feeling just from things I was hearing that I would like have to completely change the way I color maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But again, that can also depend on the times I have watched other makers color with these markers. A lot of them are most people don't use the same cardstock I use. So always take that with a grain of salt too. Um, you know, because sometimes the results that another maker is getting it varies on like what they stamped with, the cardstock they're using, and then things like their coloring skills. Because some makers um have just phenomenal coloring skills, like seriously, you know what I mean. So they can make anything look just fabulous or whatever. So it depends. It does depend, but I don't see many makers using the same cardstock as me. You know, so my results may vary. BG, where's BG 2.1? 2.4. There we go. So yeah, I'm not fully noticing. I guess in my head, just because the whole concept of like free flowing ink, I was in my head, I was almost expecting like, oh my gosh, like it's gonna be like running out, like I won't be able to color fast enough to keep up with the liquid, you know, that's what I had my, it's not like that. It's not like that with these so far, which I'm glad because that would have that was what was holding me. One of the many reasons that was holding me off, besides the whichever all the stuff I talked about in the beginning with them being like half markers and confusing and all that stuff. Um, but if I was on thinner cardstock, I need G. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. It might be more of an issue because that even happens with Copic coloring. If you're using very thin cardstock, you have much less leeway because the thinner the cardstock, the faster it's being saturated, you know, because you don't have layers like you do with like heavyweight, you know, it's just going to go. So the thinner your cardstock, the less leeway you have before it's fully saturated. And what happens when it's fully saturated? It's not going to stay in that area. It's going to start going, you know, blending out past stamp lines. That's where you get bleeding, etc. Um, but yeah, that's another reason why I switched over to Simon's Smooth White cardstock years ago. Just it's a convenience thing for me. Um, and so that it rarely happens. But the rare times I do switch back to like Nina Classic Crest Solar White, that's like the tops, one of the top standards with alcohol marker coloring. But Nina Classic Crest Solar White 80 pound because it's thinner. Um, I used to use that all the time, and it's great. I love it. But you do have less leeway, so I don't really recommend that one for beginners because it's a lot easier to oversaturate that cardstock, and that's where you get the color bleeding out past your stamp lines because the cardstock, like you're trying to do a blend and it's just too much. Too much. So I hope that like helps that um a bit. But again, like I said, I'm all over the place with this. after I'm okay so far. It's been over an hour, you know. Um, it does not help though that, I've been yapping and interrupting myself constantly. So I don't consider this like a solid hour of coloring. Like if I was doing an image like consistently for now, maybe my hands would probably be a little more sore. But do I recommend just like this? Like using them just like dish? Like this is so weird. No. I think for most people this is gonna get unbelievably uncomfortable. If these were narrower, oh I'd be, but I'm okay so far. We will see though as I actually like really start like coloring images and stuff, and I will let everyone know how I feel because I do kind of think I'm gonna just keep using them like this, as dumb as it is. But I really don't want to connect them. I don't. It bugs me. I don't know if I can get over having them on like two shades on one marker barrel. That really bothers me. It really bothers me. So I'm gonna probably be a weirdo and just use them like this because then I can just see the. I don't know what else to do, man. Wah! I don't know. B 0.3. Here we go. So I think I'll do this until I either get over myself or pull some strings and I'll contact, because I have some connections. To either get another I don't know. I would love though. I genuinely would love if OLO would do a set with um fine tips. Not because I don't want the chisel tips. I know I won't use them. So for me, um even the thought of purchasing chisel tips seems like just a complete waste of money because I know I won't use them. So, yeah, I would only get a second set because I'm OCD. I don't recommend that to anyone. But like I said earlier, when it comes to either just getting a second set or purchasing the the plastic brush handle things, I would rather just get a second set. I Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm gonna do. My brain has just keeps bouncing back and forth, and I'm like, I don't know, man. These are weird. BG 2.3. Where did you go? There it is. There it is. Um. So yeah, that at the bare at the most extreme in the sense of non necessity, catering to my OCD would be for me to get an entire second set, yeah, and connect them. So I have, um, the same color on both ends. I would love, it would make more sense to me to have different tips on both ends, instead of brush tips on both ends, So to have a brush tip and I want a fine tip. I thought they'd be more wet, but yeah, that's what I thought. Like that's what I expected, and I'm finding that they're not like that, which is a good thing. They're not what I expected. From everything I was hearing, I expected them to be like seeping ink because everyone's like free flowing and I was like, oh dear, oh this is scary. They're not. They're not. I don't know. I don't know. Like so far so good. I'm pleased so far. So far. Um. So yeah, they're so far so good. Similar to Triblins? No. Different. But again, they're all in their own categories. The tips on the Olos, more similar to Copics than Triblend. Triblend tips are um, cheap. Really. They are. They're not going to hold up over time. 100%. I've already started noticing with mine. I'm still happy with my Triblends. They're great. I like playing with them. And my thing with the Triblends, even though I find them to be completely ridiculous in some of the ways whoever decided to put certain colors together or certain shades, I'm like, why? But I like the convenience of the Triblends in the sense that I just grab a marker and I got three shades, Um, I will continually switch back and forth, you know, depending on my mood and whatever, because I do like to just use different things. It's what I like. But do the regular peoples do you need like four different types of alcohol markers? No. No. No one does. It's ridiculous. These greens are nice. I'm all over the place. These greens are nice. Um yeah. Yeah. That's my biggest request. If Olos would do a fine tip. I'm surprised in a sense that they haven't yet. But also maybe a big part of it I would assume too is if there's not demand for something, no brand is gonna like arbitrarily release something. Also, I also just assume it's I can't even imagine how much of an investment Olo has put in to like create these. Like I assume an absolutely massive investment. So they're still a new little baby company. Um, in the sense of how many years they've been in business. So I would assume I'm looking for the wrong 0.5. Where'd that go? There it is. Um, yeah, who knows what'll happen down the road? Like they will hopefully come out with more things, and it'll be super awesome. And we'll have more options. And I assume and hope they'll also do. They plan on doing more shades. Um, you know, because I'm always a point. We can always use more colors. Again, do we need them? No. Do I want them? Of course. When do we want it? Now. Um, uh, BG. I'm getting confused. Where am I going here? BG 0.4. So, yeah, that's my random thought on everything. And hell, do people need, like, if you're interested in the Olos, do you need the entire set? No. No one does. I've seen so many makers over the years that have levels of self control that I could never achieve, and I very much admire it. And they stick to a more narrower, like a narrower palette, whether it's inks or markers or whatever it is. And it just, I am so impressed by that. And they make beautiful things, you know, with their chosen color palette. And I'm just like, that is amazing. I can't do it to save my life. Like, I was like, no, I need every color, every option of every color. Ah, I've got issues. Okay, like the gotta have it all. Yeah, yeah. New colors coming out in April with the Olos. Ooh, well, we'll see if they. I would not be surprised. I would. Ooh, that's exciting if Olo is coming out with more colors. I guess like the big trade shows and stuff are like starting. Like Creativation is coming up. It hasn't happened yet, I don't think. I can't even tell you what day it is today. Today is the it's on my computer. It's the 17th. Great, good job, Amy. Um, I did that one already. That was a very pale color. Yes. Okay. 4.4. BV 4.4. But yeah, I will be curious to see if they come out with more colors. I will be getting them because that's I have problems. Um, I would love though for them to come out with a fine tip, a little a narrow tip. You know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. That's what I want. Because yeah, yeah. BV 2.2. That's like a periwinkle blue color. Hmm. Do you like the color variations? Um. Oh, sometimes the colors are too far apart to make a blend. Do these look good to you? Some of them do. There's a few in here that I'm just like, what were you guys thinking? But like those three, yep. Like I'm starting to see it. Like those three, YG 8 point, and they're numbered perfectly in my opinion. Like those three go together perfectly. You know, those three. There's there's some good ones. in here. Some of them I don't understand their numbering. Like that's a 5.7, that's 1.8. But yeah, Sandy's got it right. These two, I would use that as my medium and that as my darker. Maybe that one is my lighter. Yeah. You know, I'm starting to see it. That's why this chart is like, you know. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing with the colors. You know, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, 4.2. Um, 4 point. Yeah. Okay. Let's get that guy, and then these are half markers. These are not the full size because these I'm just not bothering to connect them. The full set does come. Where's the 4.5 BV? I have the connectors to make them like full size. I just like I keep saying I'm just not gonna connect them right now. I can't do it. It really I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna affect that. But yes, I'm just gonna keep using my little stublets. I'll just call them stublets. I'll just use them like this, which is gonna drive some people insane. I'm well aware of it. I'm okay with that. Because so far, I'm okay with this. As weird as this is. And who know, I might change my mind though once I really start coloring images with them. I might get really, frustrated, or my hand might start hurting. So far, my hands aren't. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. It's weird. It's very weird. I know. 2B 2.4. Okay, we're jumping to that one. Okay. Um. So yeah, Founders already had a chance to pre-order. Okay. Okay, new colors are shipping in April. Well, that's exciting. I'm excited. I'm excited to see um, how many new colors. And like I said, I would be very happy to hear if they would release an option for fine tip because I don't want the chisel tip because I just know for me I won't use the chisel tip. I looked at it and I like how the OLO chisel tip is shaped versus how I hate Copic's chisel tip. Hate it with a passion. Absolutely detest it. Never use it. BG 0.7. But I looked at the OLO chisel tips and I was like, yeah, even then, I don't think I would ever use it because it's just not how I color. But a fine tip would be really nice, to be able to, even though the actual tip on these is nice, like it's got a nice point to it. I would have zero problems. The only reason I would even want a fine tip is because to me that would just make more sense. I would have the same color, so it'd be one marker with the two different tip options. That's the only reason. But can I do detail with this little guy? Oh yeah, I've never had a problem um, with my Copics, and yeah, but a little fine tip would be nice, and I would 100% want that if it became an option. So I'm just gonna wait and see. But hopefully they do it soon because I only have so much patience. BG BG 0.8. That was a pretty color. Um, yeah. These my little stubbins. I know, right? They're they do look funny. And I know, and yeah, people are gonna, if I use them like this in videos, people are gonna be like, what are you doing? Why are they like this? And it's like, it's just me, okay? It's just me being weird. Cause yeah, I just, I don't know. I don't know. It really bugs me, man. I don't like the idea of having two different colors, two different shades on one marker. It bugs me because then I will only see half of them. BG 2.7. BG 2.7. Okay. So, yeah. BG 2.7. There we go. We'll be able to just Fill that in. That's a pretty color too. I like it. There we go. Is it 32 new colors? Ooh. Oh, coming in. Of course they are. That means I'll have to read because Sandy, if they're coming out with 32 new colors, Sandy will update this chart, which is awesome. Sandy's awesome. Which means I'll have to read it. That'll be a good thing. More practice for me. Whatever. I'm fine with it. B 4.6. Where did you go? Right there. Okay. Um, Interesting though. That's interesting. That makes me happy though. You can never go wrong with more colors. I do love having options. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. B 0.6. Okay. Nope, I haven't and I won't. I have zero interest in getting that brand. And again, for those that may have missed it, I've mentioned it a few times in this live. Check out Sandy Elnox. Again, her name's like right there. A YouTube channel. She did a video on them, and it's interesting. But I I just don't have honestly my biggest one because I kind of agree with her with everything she said, but also the 2.6. I find that I have more like I have so many options. I have so many options now. Like three different brands of alcohol markers now. I've tried other ones over the years. I did have the tonic ones, and they were fine. The tonic little alcohol markers were the same idea as the Spectrum Noir tri blends, like same sort of thing. And 7.6. Where did that one go? There it is. Yes. So yeah. And then my biggest thing honestly is I have nowhere else to put like another big set of markers, and these have been on the top of my list of wants for a long time. Did I need them? No. Didn't need them, but I was curious. So, how many colors are now? I think there's 16 times. I can do all this in my head, but I have a headache. Right now there's almost 130. There's like 120, 128, but minus 0 because that's colorless. And then there's a black in here, I think, as well, which I find a little bit like useless. As well as those two, these three, I think, are like basically different shades of black. But yeah, there's 128 right now, and then they're coming out with what people are saying is 32 more, which is pretty sweet. I was not planning on going this long, you guys, but whatever. We're having fun. And I'm getting this done. I'll finish with these ones, and then, like I said, I've been fighting a headache all day. It's been fun. BG 7.3. BG 7.3. Yes, like chisel tips. There's a lot of makers that like them, that either color with them or, yes, doing things like that where you use it to edge your cardstock before adhering to so you can create custom colors. There's definitely a place for chisel tips. Like it makes sense to me why OLO had those two options: brush tips and chisel tips. Perfect sense. I just don't use them ever. 7.0. Um, but yeah, they definitely have a place. I would love for there to be a third option added of a fine tip would be awesome. But because they're just a newer, smaller company, it might take a while. You know, if or they might choose to just never do it because again, it's their brand; they can do what they want, and there might not be enough demand. You know, just me being one person, That's not enough incentive for a brand to do stuff. I have some sway with some things, but I don't have that kind of influence. I'm basically a nobody. BV 2. Okay, now we're jumping around again. We want that one. Okay. There we go. 2.6. That's a pretty blue. I'm curious what the new shades will be, like where they'll fall to fill in. Obviously, like to fill in and expand. I'm curious. I am curious. It will be interesting to see. Okay, B back to 0.7. Because yeah, it'll be interesting, and I'm here for it. So that would bring it, if we're based at 128, it'd bring it 32 more colors, brings it to 160. That's decent. It's decent. B 4.7. That one. Okay. Alrighty. This will be the last one. I'll save the rest of this because it's just like, or maybe not. Whatever. You know, I'll just finish this. Let's just get it done. Whatever. I keep saying this. You guys are used to it. Thankfully, no one's being forced. No one's being forced to sit here. You all have free will. You're all allowed to click out and go on about your days. You know, I very much appreciate those that tune into my, especially my unscheduled randomness where I'm just running my mouth and not really um and not really providing anything of value. Because let's be honest. CG. Okay, we're getting into like these are cool grays of. Oh yeah, this is very very light. This cardstock, and I'll edit after I'm done because I didn't even think about it because again this was on schedule. This is Simon Says Stamps smooth white, 120-pound cardstock. It's hefty. WG0. So I will edit my link after, and I'll add a link to it. Where's the W? Oh, there they are. I was like, where are they? But yeah, I'll add that link when I'm done. I'll edit it. Me. Whatever. All my smears. CG1. So we're gonna work our way through through the grays. There we go. Can you read it? I can. In real life, on screen, these look really dark. At least on my screen, and I'm sure on your guys' screen, like these are almost like you can barely see them. In real life, I can see them just fine, so I'm fine with it. But we talked about that in the beginning. With ones that are really dark, if even in real life, like I assume with these ones, when we get to them, trust me, they're like because they're black. I'll just go over them with a white gel pen. That's the plan. So you can totally do that. Or what I was doing in the beginning, like I was not coloring over that, but then it bothered me and I had to fill it in because I was like, I don't like it. I don't like it, man. Uh, these warm gray shades are interesting. And I don't mean in a bad way. They're just, but I like, there's a nice difference between cool gray and warm gray. I like that. That is 0.1. Okay. Yeah. I'm seeing it. Okay, so then we got Cool Gray 3. I appreciate you guys. It's nice. It's a little weird, you know. I'm just like sitting here in my empty garage, yapping to a microphone and a camera. You know, it's weird. Not gonna lie, but I appreciate you guys. uh, oh, good. I'm glad. Thank you, Adriana. I appreciate it. WG3. But yeah, I especially appreciate when it's like completely unscheduled, just just random. I was like, I'm just gonna turn the camera on. RG. So is this considered like red gray? I assume R-G. Red gray, or is it supposed to be like RG, like as in red green? Because red and green do make a neutral, aka mud, which would be that color. Curious. I always wonder. Yeah. Yeah. What were they? These two shades are very sort of unique in my opinion. RG type shades. Interesting. Interesting. And then okay, back to Cool Grays. That is 5. Oh yeah, it's like 0, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. I get it. I see what they're doing here. That makes sense. And then same thing with warm grays. 0, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. I get it. I see what Sandy was doing. It makes sense to me. So that's WG5. Because these will go right down to the darkest shades, which are the like black shades, which there are. I think it works out to 3 of them. Getting there. I'm figuring it out. Sort of. Sort of. Cool Gray 7. CG. This you can especially notice it in the darker, or I can notice it in the darker shades. I would say these Cool Grays, they have like a purple undertone. Bluish purple. I can see it in this one, which is fine. It's not, again, it's not a bad thing at all. It's interesting. I can, but mostly just in that, well, in those two, I can really see it. This is dark. This one's going to, I can still see the writing. You guys probably, yeah, you guys can't see nothing. But this one is dark. Okay. I'm seeing what's happening, so now we want to go to the warm grays. That is 7. And as boring as grays are, they're also some of my most used colors. Neutrals, I use a lot because I use it for shading and that kind of, like, so often. Get in the box. RG6. Yeah. So yeah, these RG ones are interesting. They're just an interesting neutral, but I like them. I'm sure there's going to be things I end up coloring that I will end up reaching for these. They're just an interesting set of colors. Like they are neutral, but they're kind of not. Hmm. Yeah. They're interesting. Interesting. WG, okay. WG9. This is gonna be dark. Um Yep. Yeah, I mentioned earlier Sandy Knox got hex charts also for color pencil. Like they are such an amazing resource. So I got a link to her thingy in the description box for this live, and I highly recommend if people haven't got them, go get them, go purchase them, download them, print them off. They're amazing because such an amazing resource, and the amount of time she put in is I can't do this kind of stuff. Like I love color, I can work with color. I'm good, sort of good with color, but I'm not. I don't see it the way she does. She's phenomenal. Okay, I think this will be. Where did this one go? There it is. This is like black. Pure black. Yeah. Here we go. This is pure black. This will be my least used one. Because you just don't need it very often. It's a good one. And then that one's the BK. So this will be blue black. Okay. It is. It is a blue black. Duh. RG. They will say that. Where are those RGs again? What do they call themselves? Yeah. Oh, they're red grays. Yeah, I was right. Red grays. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. That's just I'm interested. Okay. So then this will be red black. Yeah, red black. Okay. Um, and then yeah, these red black shades, I like them. Or red gray shades, and then this one's red black. This is pretty. It it's like a it's like a neutral maroon, honestly. They're just they're red. The red grays, funny enough, have really thrown me off. I like them. I like them. They're different. So there we go. Minus the couple I messed up that I will have to reprint and fix because I wasn't paying attention and I colored the wrong colors. But yeah, I did it. Look at me. I completed something. I completed something. Hooray. Let me switch my camera back to me. So yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will go back and I'll edit and I'll add the link to the cardstock. But yeah, the link to markers, OLOs you can get pretty much everywhere at this point. Lots of places carry them. But I am affiliated with Simon Says Stamps, so that's who I linked them to. And then I linked to Sandy L. Knox charts in the description box wherever you're watching this live. Highly recommend. And yeah, I'll add that cardstock link. And then just stay tuned because I'll be using them in videos, like with coloring and stuff. And we'll just see where it goes because I'm just curious. So far so good. I like the color variety. It'll be very interesting to see what the next 32 shades that are coming out apparently in April. Um it'll be interesting to see what they are and where they fit with everything else. So, yeah. Um and yes, my little it's blurry, but it's there. I got that at Michael's, by the way, because people are going to ask. I ordered it online because I had a coupon. So, had to get something since I don't have the bat light now will only come out for Halloween stuff, and then I have the little snowflake one that I got for Christmas cards, even though I put it away, even though I still plan on doing um a Christmas card video, at least one a month, just to get ahead for the year so I'm not scrambling so much, but we'll see. I already realize, like, but yeah, that's it from me for now. And I'm going to go live tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central. You know, on Sundays we go live. So stay tuned for that. I'll set that up either later on tonight or tomorrow morning. It's going to depend because, yeah, like I said, I have been just fighting the worst headache. Blah. So I'm going to like get away from the lights and the things and get other work done. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. I very much appreciate it. And I'll see you all either tomorrow at 2 or I'll just see you in my next video whenever you guys tune in. So yeah, thanks so much. And I'll chat with you guys later.